Okay, hello everyone. This is the Helm Dev meeting um, for February 26th, 2026. Reminder, we follow CNCF Code of Conduct, so just, bear that in mind when you're speaking. This is being recorded. If you don't want to be recorded, um, turn off your mic, don't type. If you do, just keep the policy in mind. Um, I'll paste the link again to our meeting notes for this week, just for the record anyone watching the recording. It starts now. Okay, so thanks Evan for taking notes, and for everyone who did issue triage and PR review last week. Appreciate that. Um, there is one announcement I'll make for Karen because Karen wasn't able to had to be pulled away today. That's for the folks going to KubeCon EU. There's a booth duty sign up. So I don't think I've done that yet. So I will do that too. And Ingi has the first discussion item.
Cool. Yeah, so I spent most of February working on a new thing. I'm going to paste 3 links into the chat. So I created something called Gloat, which is, anyway, you should check out the site. It's pretty well baked out. And what it does is compiles Clojure or YAML scripts to Go code. And from Go code, and it can compile directly to binary executables, shared libraries with header files. It can compile to JavaScript, or sorry, browser WASM, server WASM. It all works. The server WASM works. I tested it with, I just had WASMer and WASM time laying around. Worked fine with both of those. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I tested the shared library FFI bindings with over 20 languages. I have examples in the repo. I just went all out on it. So what does that mean for Helm? So now, well, I want to take up the Helmwise, integration, see about that. But that's one thing. But one thing that we could do immediately is start making Helm plugins in YAML. So we could literally be writing, and it would take people knowing YAML script. But I also this week created a Claude Code skill. I don't know how many people are familiar with Claude skills. Basically, they're just markdown files in the end, but they're baked into Claude. You can search for them. You can put them in a marketplace. So I have, if you just go to yamlscript.org now, it's right at the top. Shows you how to use a Claude skill. And actually, I just talked to my computer. I wrote something last month called Lap Talk, where I just, wherever my cursor is, I just speak into it. So I could just say, hey, Claude, write a YAML script plugin for Helm, and then publish it as WASM. And anyway, so this is really exciting. And I was hoping from this meeting to get from you somebody or multiple people who might want to experiment on writing Helm plugins and YAML script, and that could go. It seems like we could just create dozens of cool plugins now. I don't have the expertise in the plugins yet, so it seems like something that would be really good collaboration between people. So does anybody have
Yeah.
any questions
Just
on? Yeah.
very, very quick.
Mhm.
My topic that is the next after Matthias's
Mhm.
um, will directly relate to this. So just as a
Okay.
preview.
If you go to that second link, the demos, it's got like 4 demos. Shows them in both Clojure and YAML script, and they're pre-compiled WASM. Actually, I had the whole setup with 25 demos where you, if you run it in code spaces, there's a link from the Gloat repo, and it takes a couple minutes to spin up, but then you can actually edit the files and it will compile them in the code spaces server and load up the WASM. So anyway, it's all working really slick. And yeah, I just reach out to me I mean, I just asked, is anybody here interested in exploring that with me? Right.
I actually have a small plugin that I might be writing for work that I might use this for because this seems like it might make it easier.
Okay.
Uh, I can talk with you later about it.
I'll point out something interesting too. So the big Go, so I'm maintaining Go YAML, as I think most people know, and the 4.0 release that's coming out soon. The big thing is that it has plugins that reach deep into the YAML architecture, so that you can easily write Go code that can affect, say, if comments weren't working, or you wanted to do comments differently, or if you wanted to convert, French YAML files, French keywords into English or whatever. I have about a dozen different plugin type of things. If you can, like you could have a oui and no be true and false through a plugin in Go YAML if that was interesting to your project, right? So all those plugins are written in Go, but now they can also be written in YAML, which is in that space really interesting, right? To have plugins for Go YAML that are actually in YAML, even though they get compiled to Go underneath. So yeah, that's kind of another space where this is going. That's one of the main use cases for Gloat, was um, to get YAML into places where YAML already is, but it needs to be Go. Anyway, I have a project called YAML Star, which is YAML script without the script. It's basically just a YAML loader for every language. YAMLstar.org. I'll throw up somebody can type in that URL, or I'll
Real,
do it.
real,
But
real quick.
yes.
Andy, was your raised hand about
Oh,
before
sorry, I
Andy
didn't see
moves
that.
on to the next piece of this? And I will cap it at a certain time, but is it about that one piece, or do you want to wait until after this?
No, it's just a quick comment.
Okay.
Yeah,
Jesse, Ingy, if you have conversations regarding the plugin, can I just suggest that you have those conversations in Helm Dev so we can get more people contributing who may not be at
yeah,
this meeting?
yeah.
Yeah,
That's a great
sounds
idea.
good.
Thanks, Andrew. Will do. Yeah, I just got one more minute. I was going to say that YAML star is written entirely in Clojure, and yesterday I was able to get Gloat to compile all of YAML star, the actual lang. So YAML star provides a YAML loader for 10 and counting. It'll be up to 42 languages or more. Identified 100 languages with FFI now. So it'll be the reference YAML loader for all languages. And now it compiles to Go instead of, so I wiped out the GraalVM Java-based backends that used to be, how the YAML script had to work. Now I can do it all in the Go environment, which is amazing. And for Go, the Go language itself, there's no shared library, so Go is allergic to CGO. So since it's a Go code, then it would just work as native Go there. So anyway, if anybody has any questions on that, it'd be great. Maybe Joe, that would be a topic for us to talk about when I come visit you.
Absolutely. And let's do, I'm looking forward to doing follow personally joining that too. So yeah,
Okay,
let's definitely do what Andy's talking about. I think a number of us have different thoughts on this, and I wanted to reach out to you already too about the topic I'm going to bring up later in the
great.
meeting. So
All right, that's it. Sorry it took so long. So
no,
long.
that was
Yeah.
perfect. That was my job to keep you on time, and I didn't even have to. Thank you. Um, so next is Matthias.
Everybody. So we release Flux 2.8 with Helm 4 finally this Tuesday. So far, I think so good. But there's this regression a couple of users reported um, in Helm from Helm 3, which is specifically on post handlers. So that's why it's not affecting CLI users because the CLI doesn't use post renderers, as far as I know. But in Flux, we use it. We like you can configure some customized patches after the normal Helm templating runs, and that's an SDK feature. So the regression is that when you have a post renderer, Helm is now parsing and reserializing uh, to be able to add some annotations in the resources. And this process is messing with the YAML separators, the three dashes, and yeah, causing some charge to fail at build time.
Can I ask
Uh,
you a question real quick about this? And by the way, the CLI users can, I don't know if this bug affects CLI users, but there is the post renderer plugin type
oh, okay.
for CLI.
The-
Are you saying that any multi-doc um, YAML is broken with this, or is it a very specific use case?
it's when you use the Go templating engine has this when you start the two curly braces and hyphen.
Yes.
When you put this hyphen is to remove the line breakings before, right?
Oh, the chumping.
Yes. So there's a workaround. This bug is like not huge impact. Like there's a workaround. You can just stop using the those hyphens, and the Go templating engine will stop removing the line breaks. So it fixes your chart. Um,
I see. You're just saying
so
it worked in
yeah.
Helm, or this was not a bug in Helm 3, but it is in the Helm 4.
Yeah, because
Okay.
these annotations change, like this parsing and reserializing to inject annotations was not in Helm 3. So yeah.
Hmm.
I filed a bug fix with tests and everything. So ready for review.
Right. Are you saying that you're removing the YAML document headers
I
from
just
from the stream?
I'm I'm just re-injecting the line breaks when I see separators, basically.
Okay, I see. Okay,
Because
okay, got you.
what you the symptom is like you see what should be, let's say, three dashes and next line API version colon space v1. You see actually the three dashes API version in one line.
Got it. I got it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
So just putting the line break back.
great. Yeah, as long as the document headers are still there, I mean that's critical, right? Obviously.
Cool.
I just
Yeah.
thought you had mentioned that you were removing the dashes, which would not be good.
Yeah, no, no, I mean, my first, someone noted, like, the first version of the bug fix was just removing the first three, the first occurrence of the separator in the beginning. And
Okay.
that's not correct because it can also happen in more separators in the rest of the document.
Yeah,
So,
I
so
see.
the right fix is to like actually put back the line breaks and
I'm
not
with you now.
strip the first separator. Yeah.
Cool. Thanks.
I
That's
saw
it.
that Evans already triaged the issue, and I just added the same label and put it in the next patch milestone. So we just need to review it before then. Thanks, Matthias.
Nice. Thanks. Next patch. That's good. Like 4.1.2.
Yes, that would be the plan if it's reviewed and merged before then. If not, we'd have to
Cool.
bump it to the next patch. But yeah, we'll try.
Cool. Cool. That's great. Thank you.
Yeah, I was already looking at it. I saw it earlier today.
Thanks, Evans. That's awesome.
Yeah, and thank you, Matthias, for the very detailed description and steps to reproduce. So I managed to reproduce it
You
affect
can
CLI.
take Cloud Code.
Yeah, that as well. Yeah. I managed to reproduce it. CLI users are affected as well.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Hmm. Okay, well then, next, was there anything else more for that topic? Okay. So next I'm calling on myself. So far the next and last discussion item. If anyone has any more, please just put it in the doc, or if you don't have access to Google Docs right now, but you're joining the call, like say from your phone or whatever, just type in the chat. Let us know if you have another discussion item, and we'll help you out. So, so yeah, this is the long-awaited chart defined plugins hip, which is doesn't have a number assigned to it yet. It's still a draft pull request. Um, uh, this is being worked on in a separate branch right now, just because. Well, I'll link the next PR. My goal is to get a PR up by today. When George and I collaborated on the Helm 4 plugins hip, um, there was contention in the wider Helm community, specifically from SDK users. So Matthias, you know this one well. The idea that charts would require plugins, could require plugins, was problematic for SDK users, specifically long-running SDK users such as
Manage controller.
controllers, such as the Flux Helm controller, or other, say, I don't know, let's say we're talking about any Helm controller like Rancher or any of the others that use the SDK in a long-running process. There were some concerns about memory usage and performance. We have since addressed those concerns, and for for uh, for example, for Flux, this is outside of the scope of Helm, but just to consider the wider Helm community, since we are partnering. Um, Stefan and Lee and I discussed architecture at the last KubeCon. Um, Lee and I are working on a proposal for the architecture for Flux. We have a solution that will address that on the Helm side, outside of Flux or any other specific ecosystem project for Helm. Um, George and I have already like addressed and proven what can be done with how XDism compiles WASM um, modules into machine code. So the WASM runtime for Helm plugins uh, is already with this by the CLI compiled into machine code, but for the SDK, it can be compiled with the same architecture. And as long as it is done as long as it is run via machine code and not the in-memory option, it parallels Go performance. And with the current draft anyway, or the work that's being done currently to update this draft, there'll be a link to it soon. It Recommendations for the architecture for how we do this in Helm would allow that machine code to be passed in optionally, those plugins to be passed in, as opposed to being read from disk, which of course we can't do in a non-readable file system like Flux, right? And other SDK users that don't do that, like other controllers. And in that case, the memory is released after every action. So it does not just kind of stack up memory in that way. So we can talk about that later, Matthias, and with anyone else interested in those types of architectures. But I just wanted to update folks on that, and that the status of it is the updated hip is coming soon, and we still have some just details to iron out, but in general, the plan is solid, and the blockers from earlier are addressed. So that's my update. Be on the lookout for that. My goal was to put that up soon. Just to acknowledge, because this hasn't been seen yet, but George and I have been having a bit of back and forth about some of the details. So
We can
that'll be
talk
there.
about that at KubeCon again.
Yes, that's right. We can. We are going to have to. Yeah.
Is this a further restriction on how plugins work? Sorry.
Not a restriction. It's actually uh, more flexible. This is what we had discussed much earlier, Ingi, with, for example, charts for chart V3 specifically, not for existing V2 charts, which is what everyone uses today. Um, but the next version of charts that are coming, that are currently in experimental, and they'll be in as an experimental feature for quite a while until it's moved from experimental to a full feature because it's not fully finished yet. I know Evans did, Matt Farina worked quite a bit on that. Other people on this team worked on it. Evans worked on exposing more of that. And for charts v3, the idea is that chart authors could require specific plugins for their chart. For example, say you wrote a chart, or let's say Jesse wrote a chart that required the a, uh, excuse me, YAML script renderer, so that you could write your charts in YAML script the way that you're saying, but as an actual first pass, not as a post render, like just the actual way of rendering it, as opposed to using Go template and then having to post render it the way we have to now. It would be the actual renderer, or if someone wanted to render their chart in Pickle, or certain files in Go templates and other files in YAML script, etc. So it's pretty
I was trying to
exciting.
get to the WASM to machine code relationship. Sorry,
Oh, the Helm plugin system uses XTism, which is a
right.
wrapper around WA0. Well, for Go, it's a wrapper around WA0, the zero dependency WASM interface for project for Go.
Okay.
And what WA0 does is it allows you to read, it interfaces between a WASM module and Go.
Okay.
WASI P1. The details of this are like pretty documented. I can point this to you, but the high level is that as far as the machine code goes, is there are two modes you can read. So XTism can read those WASM modules in memory, and the second, or let's just say the primary way of doing this is the way that that Helm currently does this with the CLI, is
Hold on,
that
let me stop this guy. I just basically want to know. I'm compiling to WASI P1. So is that good enough, or
it
is there
is.
a further? Okay.
It is. So basically, Helm uses XTism to compile that WASM module into machine code
Okay.
that Go will read. And when it does that, it
I'm just
has,
trying to find my boundaries and if they
yeah,
need
your
to be
boundaries are you
extended.
stick to what you're doing.
Okay. Thank you.
And that's basically it. That was more of a preview. And similarly, anyone that's interested in this, um, uh, let's discuss on Helm Dev.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay, so I don't see any more discussion topics, which is awesome. Well, which is fine. Why don't we go ahead and go to no one listed any hip reviews? I know there are a number of hips to review, but are there any specific shout outs? I mean, damn, I have so many.
Shout out to Scott for leading the meeting.
Yay. And thanks Andrew. I real quick, I'll give one or a few very fast. Thanks Andrew for getting Andy for getting the slides started for the maintainer track talk. That was on my agenda for this week. And for George for helping with the well, basically keeping me sane on the charts to find plugin side of things and helping with that. Um, Evans for triaging. I know other people triage too, but specifically thanks because I've noticed a lot of that. And also, I guess I'm just going to give a shout out to Ingi for like continuing to maintain YAML and making it awesome and doing all this work because I'm excited. So, okay.
I'll shout out to just everybody because I've been getting feedback from users of Home 4 that they're very happy with it.
Excellent.
But I missed the Ingi shout out. I missed that. What was it, Scott? You
Sometimes.
mentioned
Oh,
something.
from continuing to maintain the YAML
Oh,
project overall and the work on YAML script and the tools around it, because that's going to be that latter part is going to be really exciting, I think, for Helm users who've been asking for another rendering alternative.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, also thanks Joe for triaging too and PR reviews.
Oh, I did nothing this week. I was in Belize on vacation, sitting in the sun, sitting on the beach, soaking up the sun. It
Yeah,
was
well, I didn't
awesome.
mean just this week, but
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
That's an awesome flex though. I love that. Damn. Okay, then social media amplification. Um, Karen's not on the call right now, so I think we'll just skip that, but I know we'll have some for KubeCon. And assignments for next call. Who would like to moderate? Is there anyone here who would like to moderate any of the
I should be able to moderate next week.
awesome? And notes? Can anyone be here next week to take notes?
I'll be out next week. So
Will you be here, Scott? Because you're an awesome note taker.
Thank you. I was actually just looking at that. Shit. Actually, no. Evans and I will both be out next week.
All right.
At a
I'm a crappy note taker, but you can talk.
yay, Inge.
thank you.
Next week, the week after, I'll give you a shout out.
Yeah. All right, and then issue triage and peer review. I can do peer review.
Yes to both of me.
So
Sorry, George, what? Peer review? I missed that.
Both.
Oh, both, right, okay. George, anyone else?
oh yeah, can any other core maintainers who are here? Joe, are you able to be present next week by chance? And Andy or Andy?
Yep, I
Yeah,
was just
sure.
checking my calendar. Yes, I'll be here.
Awesome. It's top of the hour. Joe, I see your comment. No, can't one up that. That's amazing. All right, well, yeah, I
One
don't think
quick
Austin
question.
qualifies. Yes, Matthias.
Sorry about the release. So is it still scheduled for 1 month after the last patch, which would be March 9,
March 11th.
March 11? Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, very quickly, here's the link to the milestones too.
Oh, nice.
It's
Thank
still
you.
possible to have patches in between if there is a priority bug or security fix.
Cool. Yeah, I don't think this one is though. So it's pretty fine. Cool. Thank you.
Awesome. Okay. Thanks everyone, and see you on Kubernetes Helm Dev Slack.
Thank
All
you.
right.
You guys.
See you.
Bye.